Happy learning. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss Java arrays. Arrays in Java. So what is the use of array? What is the definition for arrays? So we can store multiple values in a single variable. That is multiple values in a single variable. Multiple values in a single variable. First, we should know what is variable in Java. So you can define variable and you can declare variable. So how will you declare variable? For a single variable, we have to declare before using that name variable in a program. First, we have to declare a variable. Variable declaration. Syntax for variable declaration. So how will you declare variable? Data type, and then variable name. This is the general syntax. So if you want to declare integer variable, what is the data type for integer? Int variable name. Variable name may be A, B, C. Okay, integer small I. So variable integer name int A. If you want to declare string variable, so string and variable name, string variable. So if you want to declare float variable name, like this we can declare variable. After declaring variable, I can assign value, integer value. Then b is equal to a, b, c, d, string, collection of character. We call it a string. So like this we can declare and we can define variable. Then after that, here we are talking about arrays. So arrays is nothing but variable only. Arrays is a variable. So we can store multiple values in a single variable. So how to declare array? So while declaring, you have to define the variable with square bracket. That is declaration, array declaration. Array declaration. So define the variable with square bracket. So define the variable. Here we are going to define the variable. That means data type, general data type, then square bracket, then variable name. This is array declaration. So there are different ways to declare array. The same thing, data type, then you can give space, then along with variable name, you can specify square bracket. Then one more way, data type, then variable name followed by square bracket. This is also possible. Okay, there are different ways to declare array. Then now, after declaring array, we can initialize array values. So here example. Array declaration. So array declaration in the sense, here if you want to declare integer array, int, or otherwise string array. Name of the array is, we can take fruits. Okay, then open bracket, close bracket. Otherwise you can specify like this. Okay, string fruits is equal to, within flower bracket you can specify values, apple, fruit name, comma. So each value we are going to separate it by comma. Apple, mango, orange. So here we have declared an array name fruit belongs to string data type. It has three values. We have stored three values, string value in a single variable called fruits. Okay, so that is the definition for arrays. So multiple values in a single variable. This is single variable fruits belongs to string data type. Then here we have stored three values. While storing values, while initializing values, the values are separated by comma. Then how will you access variable? Now name of the variable is fruits. I want to access those values. Here the term, we use the term index. So using index number, we can access array. So index number, here index starts from 0 to end. So if it is 0 to end, if it is starting from 0, the last element will be n minus 1. Suppose we have n elements or 10 elements. 10 elements are in that array. Here in this example, we have 3 elements. So if we want to access first element, then we have to use index 0. So if you want to access second element, index 1, third element, index 2. So if you want to access elements, index starts from 0 to n minus 1. N minus 1 in the sense, here totally 3 elements. If you want to access last element, 3 minus 1. That means 2. Okay. So 0 to n minus 1. So in this example, 0 to 2. Okay, this is index. So how will you access that index? Using array name. See, array name is fruits. Fruits of 0. So fruits of 0 will give you first element. That means, what is that first element? Apple. It will display apple. If you want to display orange, this is the last element. So I can last element, fruits of 2. If I want to access second element, fruits of 3. Okay. Now, this is variable declaration, array declaration. After declaring array, we have initialized. Instead of initializing at beginning, you can assign values. Assigning values to array. Okay. So first I can declare. So I am going to declare integer array. Integer a. Okay. So this is array variable. So this is array. Then after declaring, how will you new a array declaration. So after declaring, I can assign values. So how will you assign values? A of 0 is equal to 1. A of 1 is equal to 10. Then A of 2 is equal to 4. Then A of 3 is equal to 20. Okay. So I have created array. I didn't initialize any values. Then after that, I am going to assign values. Now if you display value, it will display first element 1. Or otherwise, or what you can do, how we will do generally. So initialization in the beginning. So here I am going to store, how many items we are going to store? We are going to store 5 items. So I am going to store 5 items. So here I have to give a of, here 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So one more item, 5. A of 4 is equal to 30. Okay. So now if you want to, this is 5. And A of 5 is equal to new A of 5. So I am going to assign 5 values. So what is the difference, what is the drawback in this array? Whenever you are allocating space, whenever you are creating array variable, you have to allocate space. Here I have allocated 5 memory space. That means I can store only 5 items. If you want to store 6th item, it is not possible. The maximum limit, that is size limit, that is the drawback. So array cannot grow. So if to overcome that problem in Java, we have collection framework. So using that collection framework, array can grow and you can shrink the array. But here you cannot size limit. That is advantage. Disadvantages size limit. So advantages of using array is reusability, code reusability. So we can use only single variable. Using index, you can access simultaneously. It will increase speed. So this is these are all advantages. So here, now what we are going to do, we are going to discuss one simple program. I'm going to use online compiler. Okay. So online compiler. So array, if you think about array, see. So value, it will be like this. Okay, it will store value here in memory location. I am going to create 5. Okay, so this is array name is A, name of the array. But this is index 0. This is index 1. This is index 2. This is index 3. This is index 4. Because starting from 0 to n minus 1. So if here we are storing the values. So what is the value? 1, 10, 4, 20, 30. 1 will be in the first 1. Here next value is 10. Then where is it? 10, 4, 20. This is 4, 4. This is 20. This is the structure, how we are storing using index. This is 30. If you want to access last element, A of 4. If you want to access first element, A of 0. So you can access, you can store values. Now what we are going to do, we are going to use online compiler. Okay, so this online compiler, if you run this program, anyway I have system.out.println welcome. So now I am going to create one array, that is string array. String array name is fruits is equal to, here you can give apple, orange, comma, orange, then next is mango. Okay. So if you want to print this value, I can use system.out.println. I can use, see, here, what is the array name? Fruits of 0. It will display first item. If you want to display second item, fruits of 1. Then fruits of, here I have used fruits of 0, 0, 0. If you run this program, all, here we have to, if you run this program, see here, cannot find symbol fruits. String fruits. because this is capital, no capital. So now apple, 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 then welcome. Now if you want to access second item 1, then this is third. So index starts from 0. If you want to access last item, apple, orange, mango, and welcome. Okay. So this is array declaration, single dimensional array. So there are two types of array, single dimensional and multi-dimensional array. So then how will you declare multi-dimensional array? The same way you can declare multi-dimensional array, that is multi-dimensional in the sense two-dimensional or three-dimensional. Okay, so here single dimensional. So now another way to display, this is one way to display array. So one more way how to display array, we can use for loop. You can use for loop. For using for loop, how to display array? For int I is equal to, because index starts from 0, I is equal to 0, I less than, we have a property called length property. Okay, length property. So if you want to find the length of the array in the sense, here array name is fruits. So here we have a property called length property. Using this property, we can find out the length of the array. Length of the array in the sense how many items are stored. In this example, we have 5 items. So length of the array is 5. If here we have stored 3 items. So length of the array is 3. So how will you find the length of the array? That is array name. Here array name is fruits. Fruits dot, it will return integer value. So we can store this value in a variable, integer variable. Integer length, array length. Array length is equal to fruits dot length. Here if you want to find out this length, so what you can do, length int number is equal to, what is it name? Name of the array is a dot length, a dot length. So this is length property. So now I am going to display array. So first one is using index. So you have to start from 0, then you have to include starting from 0, 1, 2. If array is very long, the code size will increase. So I am going to use for loop to display continuously. So it will start from 0. Then I have to find out the length of the array. So length of the array means here what is that length? How will you find length? For fruits. Fruits dot length. So it is index starting from 0. Fruits dot length, it will display 3. Okay, so length minus 1. Otherwise I plus plus. Okay, I plus plus. Here system dot out dot println, system dot out dot println of fruits of I. Here we are using index I. So first initially I is equal to 0, then next iteration I is equal to 1, 2, but fruits dot length minus 1. If you run this program, see, initially we have this system dot out 3 times, then after that apple, orange. It starts from 0, I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to, it must equal to 1. So now apple, orange, mango. Okay, this is another way to display array using for loop. Then one more thing, using for each loop. We have a concept called, that is for each loop. You know, for loop, we have used for loop to display array values. The next one is for each loop. So what is the advantages of using for each loop? It's readability. You can easily understand Then while accessing array, no need to specify the index. Okay. So how to do that one? For each loop, just I'll take this directly. So what is the data type? We have to specify data type. String, then data type, variable name, you can give anything, A. So what is the array name? Array name is fruits. So for within, this is the syntax file, right? For data type of data, then data type variable name we are going to access, that is variable name that is index. Okay, index variable name, then name of the array name. Then after that you can use system.out.println system.out.println of this variable name. Okay, here when you consider this one, so we'll see the example only, it will be easy. See here, string data type, string, I have given variable name A, then fruits. Here system.out.println A. So it will start from the 0th index, it will go up to n-1. Now if you run this program, what is this? Oh, one more. See here, first display using each index. This is display using for loop. This is display using for each loop. The next one, we are going to access elements. How we are going to access element? We are going to print. We are going to print some values. This is printing. Next one is accessing. How will you access? How will you change values? Here we have assigned value. Okay, initially. Then if you want to change the value, now what you can do? I can change the values. Fruits of index 0. I want to change first element. Fruits of 0 is equal to, instead of apple, I am going to give some fruits name other than orange, mango. You can give pineapple. Okay. So I have changed. So while assigning value, what will happen? Automatically it will change the existing content. So in the 0th position means I am going to change the first element. Pineapple, fruits of 0. Now if you run this program, initially I have assigned apple, orange, mango. System.out.println fruits of 0 will display apple, fruits of 1 orange, mango. Now I have changed the content, that means index 0th position, first value as pineapple. If you run this, see first apple, orange, mango, after that first item is pineapple, next also pineapple. Here if I change the value, before this, if I change this value, suppose fruits of 1 is equal to some fruits xxx. Okay. Banana. Okay. Now if you run this, I have changed the first item. So see here, pineapple, banana, mango. Third, because we are displaying using for each loop. So you can change the value. You can assign some other value. Then one more thing is, you can copy array from one array to another array. So copying array. So how will you copy array? This is copying array. You can use equal to operator. You can use equal to operator. So equal to operator in the sense, wait, I'll copy paste this one. I'll explain, we'll discuss one simple program. This is two-dimensional. So I want to copy array. I'll take this example. If we go to online compiler, I'll delete all those things. Now you see, this is int number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here int, I have created one more array with positive numbers just using assignment operator equal to operate. So I am using equal to operator. So if you assign directly that array name in the right hand side, the content of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be copied to positive number. So first array name is numbers, integer array. We have assigned some value. I want to copy the same content to one more array, that is copy array. We are going to copy the content. So what will happen? Now if you want to display value. So if you want to display value, you can convert this to using toString method also you can display. Otherwise for loop. For loop. Otherwise I'll use for each loop. For loop or for each loop. Here we are using for each loop. So here we are displaying positive numbers. So positive numbers, if you run this program, see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The same thing will be displayed here. Numbers, existing array. So we have created new array. We have copied numbers here. Then it will give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then next we have one more thing. You can use copy the array. This is first one is using assignment operator. That is equal to. Using equal to, we have copied array copy array content. Copy array content into some other array. Then one more thing is you can create array object. Okay. Then you can do element wise copy. So here so now what I am going to do, I am going to have created source with 6 elements, have created one more array name destination. The size of the array is 6. Then we are copying element wise. That means, see, I have used for loop int I is equal 0, I less than source dot length I plus plus. So destination of I is equal to source of I. So index wise copy. I am copying index. So then if you want to display, again you have to use for loop or for each loop. Instead of that, we have a method called toString method. So it will convert the entire array to string, then directly you can copy the array content. You can display the value. See, this is toArray method. ToString method is there. So using that, you can see arrays dot toString method is there. So using this method, we will convert that array into a string. So if you run this program, you'll get error. Why? Because here we have used arrays.toString method. It is in util package, util.arrays. So you have to import that package. You should not forget because we are using built-in method, toString method. So it is arrays.toString. Then we have to give destination. Now if you run this program, it will display. Okay. So here we are copying element wise. So without converting this toString method, you can use for loop to display the value. Okay, the same thing you can do it. The same thing you can do it using for loop also. Okay, here if you are using for loop again, not source.length, I am going to display destination because I have already copied destination dot length. Okay, now destination of I am going to display destination of I using system.out.println. System.out.println. Okay, println, the same thing it will display. See, 123, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So if you want to use \n, you can use \n. Next line. Okay. So this is one output. If you remove this one, you see here, got 1 2 3. If I remove, see, now I have displayed the value array content using for loop. If I convert this into string, then I have to use 2 times it will display. See here 1 2 3 4 5 6. The same thing. The different ways to display array. This is for index wise copy. So you can use index. So you can use for loop. Then you can copy element wise copy. That one you can do. Then third one is we have a method called toString method. We have method called toString to convert array. Then one more thing is different copying entire array. That is here in this example. See if I take this. Here we have created array name called n1. One more array I have created n3 with same size 5. Okay. Then after that I have created array n2 with the same length n1 because I am going to copy n1 into n2. I am going to copy n1 into n2. See here. Here we have initialized array, right? This is sorry, new a of 5. That means we are initializing array with 5 values. Okay. So if I want to copy the content of first array with the second array, the second array size also should be the same with respect to first array. So if I want to display, if I want to copy the same content in B, array B, so I have to be B of 5. So otherwise what I can do, I can use length property also. B is equal to new B of array name is first array a dot length. That's why they have used here, see, n1 dot length. Otherwise directly you can give 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 items are there. So you can here you can give 6. Instead of 6 what we have given n1 dot length. Here this is the same example. Here we have 5 items. Otherwise we can give 6 5 items. So I am going to copy the 5 items into another array. For that I have created one more array B with 5, or you can create using length property a dot length, the same length of first array I have created one more array. Then after that I'm going to copy n1 array. So we have a function called, what is that function name? Array copy. Array copy is a built-in function available in arrays, util arrays package. So we have already included. So if you are, see, system dot array copy, system dot array copy, this is the method. So in first array name, from that is source, from where you are going to copy, this is starting index. So where we are going to copy, this is destination array n2, then 0, then last one is length of the array. We have to specify the first array source length. Then after that we are converting that into toString method. Using that we are converting that array into string array. Otherwise what you can do, you can use for loop also. You can use for loop to display the same thing. Here we have converted that array to string, then we are displaying that value n2. So what I can do, I can use for loop. So I can use for loop to display the same thing. See here, I can take this. So what is the name of the array? That is n2. I am going to display system dot out dot println of n2 of I, index is I. You can use j also. Suppose if I am using j here, I can use j. This is any variable name you can. This is index. So here I have to use j. Okay. Now if I run this program, say 2, 3, 12, 4, 12, minus 2. Again it copied because here we have two array method. Okay, 2, 3, 12, 4, 12, minus 2. Then 2, 3, 12. Second time. You can use for loop also to copy array. So three ways. There are different ways to copy array. Then one more copy method is there. You can specify the index position also. Here we have copied entire array. One array to another array from starting to ending. So one more option is there. If you want to copy some data from the source array, that means only starting from third position. I don't want first and second data. I want third data. From third, how will you copy? From third position, if you want to copy, then we have to specify the index. We have to specify the index. This is the code. Different object. Okay. So here, the same thing. So one more I'll display. See here. So array copy. What is this? n1 comma 2. We have already created n3 with array size is 5. So here I am going to copy from n1, but starting index is 2. Okay. Then which array destination I am going to copy? n3. So starting position is 1. It will start from 1. Then 2. Size is 2. Now if you run this program, so what difference you are seeing here? N3 array. Here we are copying the item second. Second in the sense, what is the value? Second value, this is 0 index, first index, second is 12. Okay, second is 12. So I am going to copy from 12 only two items. Length is 2. Two items. So 12 and 4. It will copy. But what is that index position? It will start from first. In this destination, I am going to copy it from first position, not 0th. So 12, 4. Then remaining values, because size of the array is 5, remaining item, it will copy with 0. Okay. This is the example. Then whenever we are using assignment operator, to copy, we call it as shallow copy, shallow copy, shallow copy. Why we call it as shallow copy? So whenever you are copying using equal to operator, both the arrays will point to the same object. Same object. That means if you are changing any element in the first array, the second array also it will get changed. Example, see if you see here, if you see here, if you are changing the array content, so this is array A, then I am going to copy the same value. I am going to copy the same value, see, in one more array here. So I'll take this in some other place. So I have created array name as B. So I am going to copy the same content using equal to operator. So we know how to copy using equal to operator. Same thing will be copied. 10, okay, then 4, then 20. This is 20. The next one is 30. 30. Now, if I change the content of A, this A and B will point to the same object. So while creating array, it will create object. This is object, okay. This same object. So this A and B will point to the same object. So if you are doing any changes here, suppose if I am changing this value 4 to 5, so what will happen? The B also will get changed. Okay, 5. This is called shallow copy. Shallow copy. Then one more, if you are using then index based, index to index. So index to index, if you are copying, we call it as deep copy. Deep copy in the sense it will create separate array. So separate object, not array, separate object, sorry. See, if I am creating array 1 here, this is A, this is B, okay. B, we have 3 items here, we have 3 items here, okay. This is array A, this is array B. So if you are changing this value, this is 1, 2, 3. After copying, this is also 1, 2, 3. So while creating object for this array, it has object 1. It will create object 1. This is object 2. Separate object. Copy. Okay. Same thing. So if you are changing array A, it will not affect array B. If you are changing in array B, it will not affect array A. Okay. That is the difference between shallow copy and deep copy. So whenever you are using equal to, that is shallow. If you are using index, that is deep. Then one more thing in this, we have jagged array. What do you mean by jagged? Before that, we should understand there are two types of array, single dimensional array and multi-dimensional. Two types. Types of array. Types of array, single dimensional. Single dimensional and multi-dimensional. Multi-dimensional array. So multi-dimensional array in the sense here multi-dimensional, single dimensional we call it as 1D array. That means single square bracket A of 5, single square bracket. Here multi-dimensional means 2D, 3D, etc. That means 2D array. When we talk about 2D, two-dimensional array. So here two-dimensional array in the sense, how will you declare array? int 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 open bracket close bracket 2 times. Okay, array name 2D array 2D equal to new, I can assign equal to 2 times. Here I can specify 1 2 3, here 4 5 6. So you can represent in a table format. That means tabular format. Rows and columns, two-dimensional arrays, rows and columns. So here, how many rows are there? It's like table. Insert table. This is like this one. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then how will you access these values? This is called, this is how many columns we have? 1 2 3, 3 columns, 2 rows. So this is first column will start with 0. So here 0 comma 0 you can access using 0 comma 0. This is 0 comma 0 comma 1. This is 0 comma 0 comma 2. Then this is next row and column. Okay, 1 comma 0. This is 1 comma 1. This is index position 1 comma 3. Sorry, 1 comma 2. Index position. So this one is index. Index, how will you represent? Row and column. Row and column. So the same thing, how we have accessed to two-dimensional array, how we have assigned two-dimensional array. After declaring, you can initialize values 0 comma 0 equal to of 0. This is array name. Array name is array 2D. Array 2D. So array 2D of 0 comma 0 1. Like this you can assign. This is another way to assign value. And next is array 0 comma 1, that is 2. Like that, index wise assignment also you can do. While accessing, we have to use two for loops. So inner loop, for loop, inside for loop. So this is two-dimensional, multi-dimensional array. So we will take this. Now, if you look into this program, I have created array, multi-dimensional array, that is two-dimensional array, source. Name of the array is source. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0 to 42, minus 4. It is not mandatory that rows and columns should be equal for each one. Here we have 4 datas in row 1, then 2 datas, here 5 datas. So we call it as jagged array. Another term is, technical term is jagged array. So array with different rows and columns, different datas. Okay, now it is not mandatory that row it has 4 values, and column next row also it should have 4 values. Different values we can have. We call it as jagged array. So here I have created one more array, two-dimensional array, the same length of destination, that is a source array. Then after that, how to display value. So here we have a method called deep to string. Previously we have toString method for single dimensional. For multi-dimensional display we have deep to string array. So you can convert string and you can display. Now if you run this program, so previously for single dimensional toString method, now it is deep to string for multidimensional. It will represent multidimensional data properly. Okay. So it is running. Okay. Then next one is you can use for loop also. Okay. So we have to use for loop, inner for loop for that. Wait. So for I is equal to 0. It's running. Okay, I'll explain here only. See, if you look into this, I'll copy from the beginning. Then it will be easy for explaining the same thing. Here we have multidimensional 2D array. Name of the array is A, 1, minus 2, 3, minus 4, minus 5, 6, 9, 7. So you can use for loop. The first for loop, I is equal to 0, I, A dot length of the array. So it will give you how many rows are there, then plus plus I. Then after that, for int j is equal to 0, j less than A of I. Because this I is A of I dot length. So each row, this one will give you how many rows are there? 3 rows. Okay. The length is 3. Next, it will process the first row. First row, how many items are there in the first row? The first row is A of I, A of 0. So inner loop, we are finding out the length of the each row. Then system.out.println of A of I comma j. This is the one way to display array using for loop. One more method is there, that is for each loop. You can use for each loop also. This is the syntax to display for each. So for each loop, the same thing, array name A. In the second, you have to use some other thing. You have to use this inner array variable here. That's all. That is the difference. Using for loop for each loop, then you can display element wise. Using that index also you can display. So these are all the basic things about Java array, two-dimensional, single-dimensional array, two-dimensional array. Then you can use multi-dimensional array also. You can use 3D array. So 3D in the sense, here if you want to display three-dimensional, then how to display 3D? See, this is 3D. If you look into this, see here, int the square bracket 1, 2, 3. This is 2D array. This is the representation of 2D array. First array, second array. So how to create 3D array? Then you can use for loop for each loop and index wise also. If you want to access first element, test of 0, test of 0, test of 0. 3 times you have to give 3D array. Okay, this is 3D array representation. Then jagged array, shallow copy, deep copy. These are all simple things. Now we will look into one simple program. Okay, that is array. How to access element, then array length, copying array. Then notice. Then you can use some simple program that finding the display the value, finding the average of the given array, then copying array, then two-dimensional. You can create two-dimensional array, three-dimensional array. So now you can be in a position to create a simple program using arrays. Thank you.